$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings. $5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sumar Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, Breaker 7 Seals. Brothers and sisters, kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Why no one ever stepped forward to get that $5,000? All the time it's been out there, been out for years. Why? They don't like, they try to shut me down. They're doing everything they can. So why, I mean, if only just to prove supposedly being a liar, right? Because they can't. $5,000. Easy money. Anyway, brothers and sisters, we're just going to be very quick. Unfortunately, I started early today, about 8 hours ago, and suddenly my lights stopped working. I tell them they have fun, but they can have all the fun they want. Good for them, because their fun's about to run out. A lot of fun playing around, working, all trying to get this thing working all day, and still most stuff is not working. Right? Just suddenly, things stop working. And there's a pattern to it. Anyway, that's another story. So I have special presentations for you, and so I'm going to be giving them today. Maybe I can get this working. I have to work late hours tonight, I think. But then again, right, there's going with something else. Anyway, this right here is a statement of fact. Farrakhan's own mouth. I said, nothing moves those people over there. They see Farrakhan eat a shit sandwich, and they know it's a shit sandwich. They say, oh, he's doing it. He sacrificed for us, so we don't have to eat shit sandwiches. But here it is. Here's the link. I'll go with you. There's the link. His own words. Follows the devil. His own words. That's why he says what he says and does what he says. Like I said, you can put clothing, sheep clothing on a wolf, and he can appear as a wolf, but he's always sound. He appears as a sheep. Always sounds like a wolf. He can't change his voice. And everything you hear like Farrakhan says, if you just listen to it carefully, you have to listen to that carefully. He's for devils. He ain't for you. He's for you to keep putting food on his plate. Luxury homes, luxury cars, just like the devils do. They live off of you. They're the total demons. You know the house niggas? What you think happened to them? You think it disappeared? Man, so what we going to do, Daddy? Well, hey, do what we did. Live off of them. Never live off of us. Live off of them. They're doing the politicians, the musicians, especially the preachers. Who do you think the preachers? They was house niggas. They was told what to go out and tell you, and made sure that the whole focus is not religion. The whole focus was obedience, servitude, control. That's what Christianity is all about. Not about religion. But your obedience is about. Like Muhammad said, he said, if you take the Bible and squeeze, wring it out, right? But nothing but slavery. I think he said something to that effect. That's what Christianity is 500 years old, and what they teach you is that's not biblical. You may think it's biblical, but it's not. Farrakhan, and we're going to touch some things here to back up what I'm saying. He thinks he's better because he's white. He's a Caucasian. Just like Master Muhammad's original, he said, well, he's got white skin. No, he go by they go by his seed. But when it comes to Farrakhan, they won't go by his seed. They won't go by his seed or something special about him. Oh, God made him in the womb. What God was that? And God will, why we take Yaakov's creation and put down Yaakov. Farrakhan is Yaakov's creation. He's a seed of Yaakov's creation. He's not a seed of Abraham. So he's impossible to be a Messiah, because Messiah would come from the root of David, which is Abraham. So anyway, let's look at it. Just Google this link if you dare. His own words. Curse of God. It tells you everything he speaks. If you go to Malachi, who you got in Malachi? You got the God, right? You got Elijah, right? And you got two more people there. But they don't talk about the other two. They don't want to talk about the other two. The message of the covenant. Oh, Elijah, last one. Right? He's the last one, man. Nobody, he's the eternal leader of the nation of Islam. Where you get that from? He never said anything like that. I was with Elijah. I hear say. I was here 5 years till he departed. He said he was the last one. It says right there, Master of Covenant, who he prepared the way for. And then there's another person there. Three that's connected with the nation. And one of them is cursed. It's cursed with a curse for robbing the nation. So who's that for? Who's that for? Said, will a man rob God? Don't say, come on, a man, a person. And they're robbing him of tithes and offerings. That means it's somebody that's leading the nation of Islam, because that's the only way you can rob him of tithes and offerings, because they give it to him, he put it in his pocket. So that ain't Master Muhammad, it ain't Elijah. It sure ain't me, because you can't say, you ever gave me a dime. No one's ever gave me a dime, never have asked anybody for a dime, or a penny, or a nickel, or a dollar, anything. But Farrakhan one, economic program. You seen the economic program? He's a multimillionaire. But if you Google the wealth of the nation of Islam, they don't give it to you. It's hidden. Why? Because there is none. Now see this, look at here. This is his own words. And we got the tape. I'm going to play the tape. See? He says we were cursed with ugly, black and ugly.
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area. So he took his family into the jungle of East.
Let me speak this before I play this. I was with Elijah from 775. I know everything he wrote. I was a foreman at Mama's newspaper, night foreman. He never said anything like this crap he's saying.
So Shabazz was not permitted. So Shabazz.
Never said anything like this crap clown is saying. Nothing. He says, right? He said he made 50,000 years ago, they had a meeting about this period of time right now, they're preparing for it. Then there'll be a time of energy deprivation. All the other sides, all try to disagree with Matt Solid. But Dr. Shabazz says, no, we're going to take it head on. Some, like I said, some went to another planet. Some left the Middle East, came over here. Right? All kinds of things happened to try to avoid with this, and they thought Dr. Shabazz was crazy because they said, you're going to head this head on? You're going to go to that humiliation instead? Anyway, that's what he did. So he took his people down into Africa. He didn't make them fit into nature. That's bullshit. He just made them strong as possible so they could endure what they was going to be exposed to. Made as strong as possible. In other words, what he did, in modern terms, he took and strengthened the DNA to the maximum. Now, when you understand this, if you understand that DNA, I know most of you don't because you know about MFL and NBA, NFL, you do those three letters, but you don't know how to spell them. See, that's unfortunate because we need to do better than that. But DNA, you don't know anything about. But it's great DNA, and the best DNA there is, the most powerful DNA we have. Black is dominant. Nappy hair is dominant. Those are dominant genes, most powerful genes. But he tried to make you say, well, he took and took us down here. And see, everything, none of stuff has, that's what he done mathematically. He says, he took us down there, makes like nature or whatever, right? He didn't tell the whole reason in preparation, right? And he says, because, and when a lot of them just say, our hair was straight during that time because it's different from the eyebrows, right? But the thing is, what he's not telling you is that if that dominant gene doesn't say lay back and dormant, it was active. The gods had nappy hair, the best hair. The angels was the rest of us that let's make man like our image, right? The rest of us, right? We had straight hair, really not, it wasn't really straight like devils got. They got like dog hair. Thick, but it wasn't napping. But if you go look at the Ethiopians and Somalians, it's like that. We look like them. We had no big nose and big lips, that kind of stuff. We said a lot of stuff didn't even come out of Africa. Because you go to Nigeria and stuff now, you don't see that. You see black people over there, they got nappy hair. They ain't got big nose, big lips. Hardly any of those countries have that. See? But they don't tell you is that's from European. Because if you go into Europe, in a particular country like Portugal or some of those countries right there, you'll find devils with big nose and big lips. They're distorted. So that came from there. Now, some of it came from maybe Dr. Shabazz's process. I don't know. I haven't researched that deeply. But the point is that I don't have that. And most black folks I know don't have that. But I know a lot of devils had those features. Right? At any rate, so that's what he did. Right? And so, now the way he characterized this, see, the math don't add up. He says, remember he said Dr. Shabazz did this, right? So remember he did this. And we was obedient to Dr. Shabazz. He was the God. But now Farrakhan says, no, those features are because of a curse. Because disobedient. See, how this shit don't make, you gotta understand, man, how it don't add up. Because if he gave it to us, we was obedient, then how did disobedient cause us to have it? How does it make any sense? How does disobedience cause us to have it when we got it because of obedience? We got it because we obeyed Dr. Shabazz, that process, the nappy hair, and all the stuff he says ugly. He says it's ugly because God, if you're ugly on the inside, you're going to make you ugly outside. So he telling you black people are ugly. You do listen to this asshole? He telling you black people are ugly. He don't see himself black. He's high yellow. He don't see himself black because his father's a devil. So their point is, well, he might have some black complexion, but he's really Caucasian. He knows he's Caucasian. He knows we are fools to listen to him. Just like the rest of us, we listen to Master. We still walk around Master's name and everything else. Master living off of us, and that's what preachers were. They said, "No, preachers, y'all go live off of them," and preachers have been living off of us. They've been lying to us. They demons, white masters' children, black-faced children. They've been living off us, telling us be nice to master, obey master, be good niggas, and all that kind of stuff. See, you don't pay attention to that. You walk around a cross. Right? And the Bible tells you the only reason you want to walk around because you're afraid. They put so much fear in you. Oh, if you don't listen, we're going to put you in jail. You're going to kill. We'll send you, put you in hell after you die or whatever. But it doesn't add up. Listen to it carefully. Dr. Shabazz did this process, but then we end up like that. Boy, how can that add up? If we was obedient to Dr. Shabazz and we end up looking like that, but now we look like that because our disobedience. He can say anything. He know. He's a shit salesman, but he know you've been eating that stuff, things honey, for 14 years. And he know he can say anything. If he can sell you shit and you think it's honey, right? Like we eating shillings. So I won't eat anybody's shillings. We think shillings is. Just take the C off. That's it. That's what he did. That's what they called it back when we said they called it shillings. That's what it was. And they say they want to make money off of you, but they don't buy it. Show me some devils that eat shillings. You won't find it. They know where it is. You never seen them eat. They don't eat it. They don't talk about it. They don't eat it homemade. They only give it to you and they say, hey, we could still sell this stuff, but we can't sell it if we call it shillings. Let's take the S off. Marketing. And you buying it. So I will eat anybody's shillings. And you can smell the shit floating in the water. You can see it. I know because my father cooked that stuff. Until he started converting to Islam. There wasn't none of that pig he eat. Whoa. I'll stir all together. You understand? So listen to him. He's telling you, black folks are ugly. And they cursed. Black people are cursed. That's what he's saying. You don't have to come out the words of his mouth. Listen to him. And we got other videos to back up that's his attitude. But he can't come out and directly say it. But he said, I'm dealing with stuff, digging niggas, so I can say anything. But I got to be careful. Right? I just can't come out and punch me in the face. But then I'm going to be po. Because they ain't going to come out and put on my plate anymore. And they ain't going to drive my limousines and pay my mortgage. Just listen to him. This is ugly according to him. Nappy hair, big nose, big mouth, big lips. And white folks say the same thing. Yet, this is how hypocritical they are.
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area, so he took his family into the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to make a people close to nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this is the origin of kinky hair, because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. The hair on your eyebrows straight. The hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you so busy frying it. That's why you so busy pulling it. Because your nature tells you that the kink I mean, you know, with I'm black and I'm proud, we got to learn to be proud of kinks. Because most of your family of other black people on the earth, jet black. They didn't have no broad nose and thick lips and kinky hair. They were dark-skinned people, jet black. But they had straight hair, a thinner lip, a thinner nose. But we are marked as a different kind of black person. And we were rejected and despised, not only from the circle of the gods, but we were despised and rejected by all the other dark people of the earth. This is why today black people with kinky hair and broad nose and thick lips are rejected in every society. I want you to hear me well tonight. Yes, sir. Why are we rejected? Because the essence of beauty is in obedience and submission to God. And the essence of ugliness is when you rebel against God. And when you rebel against God, in your rebellion, you are marked with a certain mark of your rebellion, which is the disfigurement, yes, sir, of your internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement of your external self. Yes, and this is why when you look at our people, wherever we are found on the earth, you find us either disfiguring ourselves physically, because we are disfigured on the inside because of rebellion.
You believe that bullshit. So in other words, Dr. Shabazz made us like that. It was a submission to him. It made us like that. Where did the rebellion come from? And I ain't never tried to, oh yeah, well, I gotta take that back. When I was in Newark, I went to the military, right? I was hanging out with some people, and they taught me to get in a cockle, get my hair straight. That lasted a minute. Last 1 week and it was gone. I said, well, I'm doing this for me. I like my hair. Straighten my hair. So I did it about a week. So I smoked marijuana when I was in the military. I'm not holy like Farrakhan and all this bullshit. But the point is, I don't want no straight hair. I like the hair I got. And nappy hair, if you understand DNA and dark skin, in fact, right? All those feats he's talking about, with those wait, first of all this big lips and all that kind of stuff you're talking about, you don't see much of that. You see much of that when you have interconnection with, go to Africa, you don't see much of that. Go to Nigeria, go to Somalia, you see people with big lips and all that kind of stuff. Look at South Africa. They got nappy hair. They went through Dr. Shabazz process. Look at Nigeria. They went through Dr. Shabazz process. They didn't go through the Holocaust part of it. You see with big lips and all that kind of stuff? See, that's bullshit. That comes from a couple of things. From dealing with those and inbreeding. Because they did a lot of inbreeding with us over here. For 40 years, they have studs, and studs, all they do is to make more babies. They bring women, and all he do, that's his whole job. His mom, his sister, any female come here, they put his mom. That's why did that term come from MF? That's where it's come from. Because they had him, he didn't care, just make a baby. They put his own mom in there. Or sometimes he even know who his mama was. His sister. That's all that comes inbreeding. If you go to Africa, you hardly ever see that kind of features he's talking about. You see a lot of Europeans with those kind of features. Inbreeding. That's part of it. Right? You know what I'm saying about him? He's no goddamn good. What he got to do? He got to lose his foot up your ass, amputate his foot up your ass for you to understand where he's coming from. Oh, that's bullshit. Muhammad never told no such thing. Show me anywhere he taught that kind of nonsense. Never taught anything like it. He's distorting it. And then he says, we're submission to Dr. Shabazz, right? But we got cursed because I lack submission. Wait a minute, hold it. How can it be? Can't be both. We got like that because of Dr. Shabazz. We submit to Dr. Shabazz. But we like that because I lack submission, disobedience. It can't be both. Let's say, oh, well, Dr. Shabazz was disobedient. Dr. Shabazz, most likely nappy hair. Nappy hair is the best. That's why I associate with lamb. In the son of man's hair probably black, nappy. It's an ancient of days. Why did they call it ancient of days? And his hair is nappy. That means he didn't go through this process here. He didn't go to Dr. Schwab's process. The Ancient of Days, way before that. He had nappy hair. That's why he say little things like that. But that nigga right there, boy, ooh, he's true. He is true. He hates you. Nappy hair is bad because he got straight hair from his daddy. He got light skin from his daddy. So he thinks he's better because he's Caucasian. So Caucasian think they're better than everybody else. He can't come and tell you he's Caucasian. But if you look at Link, he tells you he's Caucasian. Look at the damn Link. It's out of his own mouth. But she got to spell out for you. See? One more thing I want to say about that. Now he's saying that we was all ugly, right? But that was the other side of that, remember, because the nappy hair is bad and straight hair is good. Well, he got to spell it out for you. That means, and that dark skin, all that stuff. So the white devils, they're good and we bad, because he's one of them. He's not going to say he's bad, he's ugly. We the ones ugly. His father's the devil. Percival Clark. But our women so ugly, so bad, that you go back there and the whole, all the styles of white women back there. Remember, our women was enslaved, being chained, beat, raped, everything else. Didn't have any lipstick, didn't have any perfume, didn't have any cosmetics, and none of that stuff, right? So they were just savages to be raped and beat, right? That's our women, right? Don't do your clothes. Most of them out there feel naked. That our people, right? Stone cold savages, according to them, right? So why in the hell these white women was trying to look like them? Why would bust? What you think bust was to give them ass they don't have? What you think lipstick for? To give them lipstick they didn't have. Rouge, give them color they didn't have. And thick braids used to wear their hair because they didn't have. See what I'm saying? So if our women are so set, remember that's the question our women was back then. They wouldn't run around nice dresses, especially like their panties on like they. Oh man, I said, they need go in the gym because that's I don't care what they say. They got they walk around their panties on. But the thing is, our women was reduced to animals, living like animals, dressed like animals, eating like animals. Yet still, white women's trying to be like them. You see, they don't add up to it. They don't add up to it. So who? When you try to emulate something, that means you think it's better than you. They won't tell them that. They was envious of black women. They was trying to be like them. But he gonna tell you, oh, you're ugly. You're ugly. God made you ugly. Because you're disobedient. Disobedient, stupid, dumb-ass niggas. That's Farrakhan. Come on, brothers and sisters. It's not what original women are the definition, and the blacker the better. The definition of beauty. I don't care what shade they come in. They come in many shades. Even before devil cat, we still have many shades. That's why it calls gold. Gold has many shades. You get gold, you get real dark gold, you get light gold. We have many shades amongst us. Without any contact with devils. So I don't care what shade original black woman come in. They're the definition of beauty. You can't find anything more beautiful than an original black woman. She's the definition of beauty. Everything's compared to her. Period. That's why we love her so much, but some of us don't love her so much either. That's something I was going to talk about today. Because, see, one of the problems is this demon situation. And so, I find myself the same thing. I get angry, right? I see people, but because you see, it's a man, they're acting. But see, it may be a demon. Most likely it's a demon. But see, it looks like you. So then you get angry. Say, man, they like that. But see, if they had a sign on them that says demon, then you wouldn't even care. Oh yeah, that's a demon. That's by look like us. You say, oh man, look at that. He fist bump with the devil. What's wrong with him? Well, if he's a demon, he's gonna do that. But see, I can't come out and say it like that because you gotta be careful because some of our people are still mixed up and confused, and that's why Elijah was told he wasn't allowed to separate them because he might hurt some of the wheat and his efforts to separate the wheat from the chaff. Because most of them out there are demons doing that, but there's some of us caught up in it. Right? Anyway, I'm gonna close out this book. See here. This is Daniel. And Daniel's a special book. It's still too, and their companion book. Now you take Revelations, right? What you call it, Revelations Angel. It's 22 chapters. 22 divided by 7. What is that? Ask Farrakhan. I bet you couldn't tell you. I bet you ask Son Sham couldn't tell you either. I bet you Eric probably couldn't tell you. Probably even Webster probably couldn't tell you. What's 22 divided by 7? That's pi. Circle. Completion. 22 divided by 7. 22 chapters divided by 7 seals. You didn't catch that one, did you, Wesley? If you put here Farrakhan's ass for a minute, maybe you might see something. Right? Beside the shit panorama. Anyway. So, it's the 13th chapter, right? So you say, well, 11, that's head, right? So 13 would be somewhere around the middle, right? And so the 13th chapter is connected to Daniel because that's the only book and chapter that connected to Daniel. Because in the 13th chapter, they talk about the bear and all that kind of stuff, and the leopard, that same animal they talk about in Daniel. That's the only connection they make, those right there. And it's inside. And so I take that to mean that the book of Daniel is probably more from the female's perspective. And there's a lot of reasons to see it, but like I said, I haven't spent a lot of time. Normally, I just thought about it because there's so much to deal with. I think that's more written more from a female perspective. Because this is colder too, right? And it has more flowery. You know, Daniel, ooh, Daniel's got a whole different way of looking at that one, boy. Anyway, this is from Daniel. Now, there was this tree. It says tree covered the whole planet. Right? It controlled everybody living under the tree. Everybody was living. Right? Okay. That's us. It was the original tree. But it said somebody from heaven came down and cut the tree down. Cut down to a stump. See? And so, if you understand the angel and you understand everything, you understand all these things, they all connect. So they're talking about the story of Joseph. See? So, his brother Ishmael, the covenant went to Isaac, not Ishmael. Isaac was Abraham's son by Sarah, his wife. Ishmael was his son by his maid. So God blessed his son Sarah, which is Isaac, but Ishmael was the oldest. He got angry. We had the same story we're talking about Esau. That's no story. He got angry because he said, wait a minute, why did you bless me? So we go along further down the line. We see Joseph is told he had this dream that he's going to rule all the tribes, all his brothers. And when they found out about it, they said, hell with that. We'll get rid of your ass. And he did. So they took him and threw him in a well to kill him. And he ended up being enslaved by Egypt or America. Right? Anyway, this is the tree. So, it's us. And our brother Ishmael, he's cut this tree down, man. This tree ain't going to rule us. See, part of the rule was because we, Dr. Shabazz did, we're going to take it head on, and that means we come out because of the pressure of it, cause us to transform into a stronger structure, which is like going from coal to diamonds. Right? They cut us down. They betrayed us. That's what it says. They cut us down. Because treating them down to nothing. Just a little bit left. Of course, being enslaved. That's the Arabs did it, Sunni Arabs. And it says we'll be enslaved by brass and iron, which represents represents false Israel, American Britain, God and Magog. And that's what's happened. It would be like that, right? But then it classifies as a lion, as a beast, because we live a beast life. We turn into a lion, we live a beast life, but we live in a beast life, right? Until that period was over, our heart given back to us, our mind was given back to us, and the eagle was plucked off, God and Magog was plucked off, and we rose up. But they wanted to prevent that. And that's just the story. That's what the story is. But to see, when you understand the story, right? False tell you, they had nothing to do with slavery. No, it says they're equal amount. Because they was the brass. See, brass, but see, when you got statue, you got gold, silver, brass, and iron. Why is not why sequence? Because brass can be a fake gold. You can be fooled by brass shine up, and that silverware you got ain't silver, it's iron. So you can make both of them look like what they're not. And so they say, oh, they're the silver. God can make it, they're silver, right? You know, so all of them, they the ones that inherit everything. See, because you know, the American Britain say that they're the spiritual Israel, whatever. Keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. That's man said, by thy seed shall all nations. But you see, you don't read this stuff, understand what it means. All the nations be blessed by someone's seed. That means their energy. Your seed is your energy. Everything is energy. Now somebody's living off our energy. All the nations, not somebody, all the nations. So who's that? Where is that? Isn't that this? As far as Israel living off our identity, they pretend our identity, so you got to help them because they're Israel. Ishmael, God country, and they get all that oil and everything else they put off our land. They getting rich off what our land produces. That's our land. America, they held us captive, and our creativity, they got rich off of that. And Farrakhan's getting rich off the Nation of Islam. He ain't produced a goddamn thing. You understand what I'm saying? And if we the seed of creativity, then we should get the fruit of the seed, of the tree, right? When you plant the seed, you get and where's the fruit of it? Like industrialization and AI rather, they get that China in it. And you ask yourself, why would they give their industrial capacity to another country? No country does that. Because they want us to have it. They killed Detroit. They killed all that because they want us to have it. Because they know that causes accentuate our rise. Give it to them. And I can prove that. So now China become powerful. Why? Because America get the industry. Your industrial, it's like giving away your muscle. Why would you give away your muscle? Why would you give away your strength? Because they didn't have it. Wants to have it. That's how China got powerful and rich. They gave them their industry. America gave it to them because they didn't want us to have it and destroy Detroit, which was like a black mecca for the industry, and throw us in prison and everything else. They gave all that to China. China become powerhouse. Everything is backfiring on them because everything is back. Put like consequence. You cannot. God, no one can escape consequence. They talk about consequence like the Holy Spirit. It's an aspect of it, but no, it says Holy Spirit checks out the Father and the Son. No one can escape consequences, ever, never. And so all they've done, they would have to pay for it. Live by the sword, die by the sword. So now, only way you can delay consequence, but you can't stop it. So how you delay it? If you punch me in the face, then the consequence, I punch you back. That's I have to do it too. But if I don't hold a punch, don't do anything, I hold a punch. I let you punch me 10 times. Now I owe you 10 punches. What if I give it to you all at once? Whoa. 10 pounds each punch? Over every day? So 10 days, man, wow. And then I get back to you one day, 100-pound punch, one day, you dead. If they do them double, they done to you. That's what God said forgive them. But I said, oh, you gotta be that good Christian. You gotta forgive us. No, I ain't forgiving you what you did. Which is off the page. Raped us, murdered us, beat us up. You're not children as gator bait. And I mean, it's off the page. Of course, it made us eat shit. And it tells us we gotta like it. You're doing it right now. You're still doing it. You know how you're doing it? Because you bring it up, they say, oh man, you ought to get over that. So now, hey. Somebody told me this, take it a little easy on the F word, so I'm trying to find words worse than that, because that applies to them. Hell, I said, okay, I start being nice, right? They said, well, you know, some children might be listening. I said, yeah, but we can't. Well, let me don't speak to that. Oh boy, it was critical times, brothers and sisters. See, but you gotta be careful. But the children going through the heart, through the tribulation. They're gonna see stuff they ain't never seen before. They can see murder, they can see guts, they can see all that stuff. See, that's what I'm saying. It's not nowadays. It's pointless trying to be. This is it. Unprecedented. Let me say one more last thing. I'm going to close. You know, they talk that they would get the most grievous chastisement. Why? Because I said this difference between a believer and a disbeliever is a disbeliever gets they don't take advantage of the warning. So if you didn't get on the ark, you're a disbeliever. That means you drowned. That's the punishment. The punishment was you did not take advantage of the warning. So now you got the result. The one is trying to save you from a situation, and you didn't listen. So now you suffer the situation. You know, God, after they drown, after they didn't get on the ark, the God come in, oh, now you was bad. Then start whooping their ass while they drowning. That was the punishment. So therefore, the hell is unprecedented. So if you mess around and miss it, that means you're going to have to deal with the hell of it. You're going to have two wars. You got spring and winter fighting at war with each other. Spring and summer at war with each other. Hell and heaven war with each other. Chaff and the wheat war with each other. They're unprecedented. And tribulation is unprecedented. So either you on the positive side of tribulation or you're on the negative side. And both of us be unprecedented. So if you're on the negative side, that means you catch unprecedented hell, most grievous chastisement. God even say, oh, you did this on spring. No, that's the punishment. That you're outside of the hush. If they achieve it. Anyway, and this we're going to take our backbone, sisters. We see the Abraham, everybody living off us. All the nations. Every one of them living off us. Including Farrakhan. He lived off us. He ain't produced a goddamn thing. Where's the produce? Yeah, and I told you, stuff he said doesn't add up. Doesn't add up. Because you don't have to. If you're a shit salesman, it can add up. Because who's going to buy shit knowingly? I've seen the winter and the spring. Farrakhan's winter period. That's why he wants to stay here. He wants to keep you here. I should change this and put them right there in the middle there. But I didn't want to see if anybody catch that, right? Because you'd have the opposition, right? The wars between the winter and summer. So the spring is a transition period. That means we're talking about personify everything, right? So the personification of the transition period would be someone that's half spring and half winter, half summer, half winter. And that's Farrakhan Muhammad. The opposition would be someone that opposite transition be half winter and half summer too. That's Farrakhan. He's the other way around. His father's winter, his mother's summer. Master Muhammad, his father is summer, his mother's winter. This stuff is so beautiful, brothers and sisters. But maybe, I said, once you start getting your brain activated, then you start seeing beauty of the world, and beauty of our lives, and spirit, and start seeing the beauty of our women. The women see ugliness, they still love you. These women still love us. And boy, don't let me catch you fine. You put your hands on one of them. Don't show. If you're doing that, don't show up. Please don't show up. Because you may make it, but you're gonna be home. You'll be handless. But let me find you. If you better stop immediately. You better beg their forgiveness. Hope they forgive you. Don't do it. I said I did one time. I threw an empty bottle, empty plastic bottle, like a water bottle. I threw it at my wife. It was empty. And I regret that. I apologize for that. And it didn't hurt. It couldn't probably hurt her. She said, you could even kill her for a fly with that damn thing. Right? But she caught me off guard. She said, but I was trying to do something, and she go out and before I threw it. A long time ago. Right? And I ain't happy about it. Still don't like the fact that I even did that. But I did. I'm not gonna lie about it. Right? But that's the only time I ever put my hand on it. I grabbed it one time. Right? It was acting really crazy. I grabbed it one time by her. I did grab it once. It was more. Okay, I'm gonna close out here, bro, since I spent all day trying to get to this point. I'm not ready to finish this. Understand where we're at right now. The punishment was its most unprecedented time, unprecedented trouble. So, right? So you got unprecedented lifeline, or you got unprecedented trauma. Either you're on the ark or you're off it. Off it, unprecedented trouble. You're on it, unprecedented salvation. That's what said. Most grievous chastisement. If they're going to be out there with these devils, it's going to be a war all the way. And you got people think, oh man, well, I got the 5 pillars. You're out there by yourself. No, you ain't. If you got Hajj, you ain't got 5 pillars. You got to have all 5 of them. And Hajj is the one that is the protection of human unity. I'm gonna leave it there, bro. So I got to set. Hopefully, I can get everything together. And we're gonna have a full presentation tomorrow. But I don't know. That's all day, and I still didn't get it fixed. Okay, Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Let's play out
careful, Nima, and I keep telling people this, watch out. When we collapse, we're going to collapse with a loud, loud bang, and people's lives are going to be ruined. It's not going to just be $8 a gallon at the pump. It's going to be you can't afford anything. You can't even afford to eat. You can't afford to have a roof over your head. You certainly can't afford all those things you've been thinking about, like a college education for your children and so forth. That's where we're headed. And we're doing it to ourselves.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides. Yes, sir, brother minister. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother minister. That's real. When we was alive, we set up schools.
Right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets. We owned buildings. We owned farmlands. We were busy doing something, firing our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass. In a nice car, in a nice home. I got all of that too. I ain't robbed nobody.
That's right.
I love you. I love you because God loves you and wants to free you from the grip of Satan, that we may build a righteous world. And Father Plager will be in that righteous world. You can believe it. He's a true servant of Jesus the Christ. Thank you for listening.
Beloved brothers and sisters, one of the greatest practices in all the religions is prayer. The form and style of prayer varies from faith to faith, but prayer is universal. There is no religious community that does not pray. No prophet of God that did not pray. Abraham prayed. Noah prayed. Moses prayed. David prayed. Joseph prayed. Jesus prayed. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, prayed. Master Fard Muhammad prays.
So long till they don't know the birth record. So they just say from remotest antiquity, this is the house that God used to manifest his wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and power in and through. Where is he now? Wherever he want to be. I'm not going to say I know where he is, but I'm glad his power is everywhere. I think I know where he is. I don't want to say because I could be wrong. But he's wherever he wishes to be. Are we to pray and worship Master Farad Muhammad? You don't worship the flesh of any man because the flesh is going to die. But in that flesh is a wisdom and a power superior to any human being on the earth. So when we look to Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, we look to him. And when he ain't no longer here, the power is going to be here. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he would live a minimum of 400 years, but 400 years ain't no time. He'll be gone. But before he goes, the foundation of what he lays will never be erased from the planet. That's a God. He prays. He prays. He don't pray to himself. He don't say, surely I have turned myself to me. Who does he pray to? He prays in remembrance of him who originated that which he came in. He came in this body. You can't ignore him who originated this. Anyway, it's deep. It's a big subject. I want to say to my Muslim brothers, when I was in Mecca, I was there for 3 days. I was there for 3 days. And in the 3 days that I was there, wrangling with the scholars, we talked about this. And when I finished explaining, the heaviest scholars there didn't bother to argue. They had to go away and study it. And what we don't realize is God has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And what you're doing, you are following those that God wants to put you over. The Arab is a good person, basically. They've done a wonderful job in keeping the book of God pure. And we are grateful to them for so doing. But they messed up. It's your turn now. And God will see how you act. But you're not to follow Arabs. You're to lead them. And you can't lead them following them. See, they like to see you imitating them. Just like white Christians want to see black Christians imitating them. We're not to follow white people today. They had their day of rule, and their day of rule is up. That's all. God is going to replace them with a new ruler. And whether you like it or not, the new ruler is black. He have hair like lamb's wool, and he has feet like burnished brass. And if y'all can't take a black leader, then you might as well get off the planet.
Although the Nation of Islam, does not presently advocate violence by its members, the group does preach hatred of the white race and racial separatism. The membership of the Nation of Islam is organized and poses a real racial threat. The Nation of Islam is responsible for the largest black nationalist newspaper, which has been used by other black extremists. The Nation of Islam appears to be the personal fiefdom of Elijah Muhammad. When he dies, a power struggle can be expected and the Nation of Islam could change direction. We should be prepared for this eventuality. We should plan how to change the philosophy of the Nation of Islam to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation, deleting the race hatred and separate nationhood aspects. In this connection, Chicago should consider what counterintelligence action might be needed now or at the time of Elijah Muhammad's death to bring about such a change in Nation of Islam philosophy. Important considerations should include the identity, strengths, and weaknesses of any contenders for Nation of Islam leadership. What are the positions of our bureau deletion informants in regard to leadership? How could potential leaders be turned or neutralized? The alternative to changing the philosophy of the Nation of Islam is the destruction of the organization. This might be accomplished through generating factionalism among the contenders for Elijah Muhammad's leadership or through legal action in probate court on his death. Chicago should consider the question of how to generate the factionalism necessary to destroy the Nation of Islam by splitting into several groups, bureau deletion. Do you think that the FBI just folded and walked away? Read this document carefully. Did not the FBI accomplish each of their goals? Did not Farrakhan deliver everything the FBI wanted? We should plan to change the philosophy of the Nation of Islam to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation. Sunniism, Scientology. Deleting the race hatred. Don't call devils anymore. Deleting the separate nationhood aspects. We ain't going nowhere. No existing economic program. The reason why these facts are ignored is because those that surround him are demons, fools, idolaters and FBI agent handlers who make sure he stays on track.
hurtful. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing cry to return to their native land and people. You here today cry to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You and I, turning your face from your own native land, turning it back towards our own prison house, enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel? Acting sick. And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There's no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their arms 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment, condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own nation for yourself after the white man say you are free. Remember that. We want an equal education so that you will look better. But separate in separate schools up to 16 for the boys and 18 for girls, on the condition that the girls be sent to women's colleges and universities. We want all of our black children educated, taught, and trained by their own teachers. Under such schooling system, we believe we will make a definition of our people. The United States government should provide free for all of us the necessary books and equipment for schools and colleges. We believe that is nothing but right and justice that they should build schools and colleges and universities and everything necessary to equip them for the teachings and trainings that we so miserably need and desire. There must teachers shall be left free to teach them and train our people in the way of righteousness and the way of peace and self-respect. We believe that intermarriage race mixing should be prohibited between the two races. We want the religion of Islam for our people, and we want it taught to our people without hindrance or suppression. These are some of the things that we the believers in Islam is true religion of entire submission. We are called Muslims of entire submission. We are called Muslims. We who have submitted ourselves to do the will of Almighty God. We are the people that want nothing other than righteousness. And we are the people that want to leave America for our own. Help and come. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadafuddin and I have had disagreement. But his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
And the messenger listened, his jaws tightened, and then he looked and he said, yes, he's getting the fame. so that when he turns hypocrite on me, the whole world will see him. I'm telling you what he said. I died at the table. I mean, it was like he had taken a spark and drove it right through my heart. I couldn't understand why he said it. I didn't know why he would say something like that to me. I was faithful to him in my own way, I thought. I was obedient to him in my own way, I thought. Why would he say that to me? It is because he knew tomorrow better than I knew yesterday. And I lived through yesterday and don't know what tomorrow is, but that man saw tomorrow. He was the most perfect guy that ever could come to a people, brother and sister. But we blew it, man, because we so hateful of our black selves that we didn't believe that God would dare take a black man and not only make him a messenger, but more than a messenger, deposit in the man himself and make a God out of him for you and me. Now listen, brother, I'm not playing here. That man, Elijah Muhammad, is the most profound individual you will ever meet. I don't give a doggone if you live to be a million. And those of us that walk with him in faithlessness, walk with him in doubt and in suspicion of his divinity, know it better now than we ever knew it while he was among us. We know it now. Look, and I say this with deep humility, man, it pains me to open myself up and see a hypocrite laying inside. But look, how else can a man be healed unless he's opened up to the light and the thing that is in him that is not pleasing to God be removed? You understand? Now here's the messenger looking at me, and because Malcolm told me that the messenger was jealous, and members of the messenger's family had dropped it out that the messenger was jealous, I began to entertain the thought because I couldn't see the future. Now listen, I fought it off, but it was there. Hear this now, beloved. One day in New York, 70,000 people came out to hear the words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is the largest gathering of black people, really, I think, in the history of our sojourn in America, to listen to a black man teach wisdom. And this ain't no play. I was so overjoyed, I went to the messenger and I said to him, the apostle, there were 70,000 people. And back in, again, 3 months later, we did it again, and 40,000 came out on a Sunday afternoon to hear a lecture in Randall's Island. And you know, when I was so exultant, you may use the word cocky, you may use the word vain, self-centered, whatever you want to say. When God gives you success, you better learn how to handle it, or that thing will destroy you. And I didn't know how to handle what God was bringing to me. And I'm just being very frank and honest. And this is not negative, but it's so good to understand how merciful God is. He brings you up and show you the power that can come to you, but he knows you can't handle it. He'll drop you right back down and then bring you up in humility so that whatever he gives you, you'll be able to handle it well. Now look, beloved, when I was telling the messenger about this 70,000 and this 40,000, you know what he said to me? He got real sad and he said, you know, brother, the time is coming when you may go to the temple and there may not be one believer there but yourself. Couldn't believe it. I said, we got 7,000 Muslims in New York. And here's 70,000 people out there reaching for his teaching. How could I go to the temple and there be no believer there? I didn't know what he knew. I didn't know.
That they fear. I don't have no army. I just know the truth. And I'm here to separate the good Jews from the satanic Jews. Yes, yes, yes. This is just the beginning, banning me from a social platform. I use that platform with respect. I never allowed those who follow me to become vile as those who speak evil of us. So I am dangerous, not to you, unless you feel that Father Pfleger's invitation to me may hurt Saint Sabina. They don't have the power to hurt Saint Sabina if you don't give them that power. I thank you for listening to me. I have not said one word of hate. I do not hate Jewish people. Not one that is with me has ever committed a crime against the Jewish people, black people, white people, no matter what your color is. As long as you don't attack us, we don't bother you. So you met me tonight. Social media, you met me tonight. I plead with the rulers, let the truth be taught. I plead because this is the only thing that will make America not great again, make America truly great. If you allow me to tell the truth that God has revealed to his servant, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that he taught me, we can save America from her destructive fall. I'm not a misogynist. I'm not a homophobe. Don't be angry with me if I stand up on God's word. But I don't hate my brothers and sisters who have been exposed to the great deception. Taking the word God is love, and I love my brother. In fact, we kissed when I came up here. And, this is not queer. This is straight up love. So from tonight, go home. I'm not going to ask you to let them put you in jail, what they call Facebook jail. We have a teaching about the maker of the white race. His followers were put in jail. I wonder, is it Facebook jail? And everywhere they looked, there was another one. Till all the jails got filled up. And that's when the president said, I think I better go and start a dialogue with Farrakhan. Because this false mess to give you civil rights and take it back, you owe us. And I'm here, by God's permission, to tell all of you what justice looks like. It's not a white woman, a TV show, and a nice car, and a nice home. I got all of that too. I ain't robbed nobody.
That's right.
I love you. I love you because God loves you and wants to free you from the grip of Satan, that we may build a righteous world. And Father Plager will be in that righteous world. You can believe it. He's a true servant of Jesus the Christ. Thank you for listening. When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides. Yes, sir, brother minister. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother minister. Both sides. That's real. When we was alive, we set up schools.
Right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets. We owned buildings. We owned farmland. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings. $5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings. Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flagger as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor
Yes, sir.
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity. So I'm only one shade lighter than you. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We a family. Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you.
One more time, brother.
(1713). On the ship Henrietta Marie, chained Africans crossed the Atlantic with no room to stand. Many died before land appeared. Their bodies were thrown into the ocean behind the ship. The ocean saw.
Listen to this closely.
This happened to your bloodline.
This was planned for profit.
Your ancestors still survived it.
The water remembers your ancestors' name. Millions crossed the Atlantic in chains. Many never touched land alive. You are here because they refuse to die quietly.
Yeah. From the 1500s to the 1800s, European ships crossed West Africa, Portugal, Britain, Spain, France, and the Netherlands built this trade. They bought and kidnapped African people for labor in the Americas. Historians estimate that 10 to 12 million Africans survived the crossing. Millions more died before reaching shore. People were taken from Angola, Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria, and Congo. Many were marched hundreds of miles to slave ports and chains. At ports like Elmina, Castle, and Bonnie, families were separated forever. The crossing became known as the Middle Passage. Ships packed human beings below deck like cargo. Some ships held more than 400 people at once. The British ship Brooks became famous for how lightly people were packed. Men, women, and children were staying together for weeks or months. Many could not sit upright. Disease spread fast in the heat below deck. Dysentery, fever, dehydration, and starvation killed thousands. Women were sexually abused by crew members during the voyage. Some captives jumped into the ocean rather than live in slavery in 1781. The crew of the slave ship song threw more than 130 Africans into the sea for insurance money. The owners went to court demanding payment for the murdered people. Olaoda Iquiana wrote about the smell, the change, and the screaming in his 1789 book. Your ancestors lived through organized torture, created for money.
Do not look away from what your ancestors kept fighting. The water remembers your ancestors' name. Millions crossed the Atlantic in chains. Many never touched land. You are here because they refuse to die quietly.
Yeah. The Middle Passage helped build the economies of Europe and America. Sugar plantations in the Caribbean depended on its slave labor. Cotton plantations in the American South depended on its slave labor. Banks, shipping companies, and insurance firms made fortunes from slavery. Cities like Liverpool and Bristol grew rich from slave voyages in the United States. Slavery expanded after the invention of the cotton gin in 1793. By 1860, nearly 4 million enslaved black people lived in America. Congress banned the importation of enslaved Africans in 1808. But slavery continued inside the country. Children were still stowed away from parents at auctions. Black families were still whipped, branded, and controlled by force. The Civil War ended legal slavery in 1865 with the 13th Amendment. But black Americans then faced black codes, lynching, segregation, and voter suppression. In 1896, Plessy v. Ferguson legalized segregation across America. Redlining in the 1900s blocked many black families from owning homes. Many schools still the full truth about the slave ship. Some people want this history forgotten because it exposes how wealth was built. But your ancestors survived oceans, chains, disease, and violence. They protected songs, names, birth, language, and family through terror. Every black child alive today stands on the survival of those people. That survival is proof that the system did not erase your bloodline.
Ancestors survived the cross.
Teach your children what the Middle Passage was.
Do not let anybody turn this history into silence.
Your ancestors survived one of the cruelest systems ever created.
Stand tall when you remember them.
The water still remembers.
Now you do too.
1500 to the 1860s. 12.5 million Africans were forced on the ships. Almost 2 million died in the water before they ever touched land. This is the crossing. They call it the Middle Passage.
Stop. Put everything down. What I am about to tell you is the truth. It is yours, and no one can take it back. Oh, I remember what they tried to drown.
They built the ship to break you.
And you did not break.
2 million stayed in the sea.
And still you are here.
You are alive.
Because they refuse to die.
It started on the coast of West Africa. Ports like Elmina and Ghana, the Bight of Benin, the Bight of Biafra. From around 1500 to 1866, 12.5 million people were captured and sold. The Portuguese began it, then the British, the French, the Dutch, the Spanish, the Royal African Company of England branded people with ain't even children. On the ship, all the brokes, they packed over 400 human beings below deck. People were chained side by side, lying in their own waste. No room to sit up. The crossing took 6 weeks to 3 months to cross the Atlantic. There was no clean water, no air, no light. Sickness in every corner. Dysentery, smallpox, and starvation killed them in the dark. About 1.8 to 2 million people died at sea on that journey. The crew threw the dead and they're still breathing over the side. Sharks followed the ships across the entire ocean. This was not an accident. The business. This was the plan.
Put everything down. What I'm about to tell you is the truth. No one can take it back. The water remembers when they tried to drown.
They built this ship to break you.
And you did not break.
2 million stayed in the sea.
And still you are here.
You are alive.
Because they refuse to die.
In 1781, on a British ship called the Psalm, the crew threw like 32 different people into the ocean. They did it to claim insurance money on the people they murdered. The court in England in 1783 argued about money, not about the killing.
But your ancestors did not all go quietly. In 1839, on the ship Amistad Singh, they pie called Joseph Sinkay led a revolt and won his freedom in the United States Supreme Court in 1841.
There were over 400 recorded uprisings on slave ships. From chose the water over the chains, and that was their last act of freedom. Every single person who survived that ocean is the reason you exist.
Your family did not begin in slavery. Your family survived long enough to reach it. The mothers, the fathers, the children who lived through that water carry life forward to you.
Their names were never written down. It's in you right now. That is why what they try to erase in the ocean is sitting in your chest. You are the evidence
that they could not finish what they started. It could not take you.
Now you know what crossed that ocean to make you. Do not let anyone tell you it never happened. Say it to your children. Teach it out loud.
12.5 million left. 2 million never landed.
You came from the ones
Who held on through the water. Carry them with you.
never let this be erased.
$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.